Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into Ironwood Pharmaceuticals' latest filing. It's like a roller coaster ride filled with ups, downs, and enough twists to make your head spin, but let's see if we can make sense of it together. Ironwood Pharmaceuticals just released a report on some recent business activities. It's called a Form 8K, which is basically a company's way of saying, hey, something important happened and we need to tell everyone. This particular report, filed in late April of 2025, gives us a peek into what they've been up to. The main point is a press release giving an update on their business. Now, this press release isn't officially filed in the same way as some other documents, meaning it's not held to the exact same legal standards, but it still gives us a valuable look at what the company wants investors to know. Before we dig in, let's acknowledge who's responsible for all this information. The report was signed off by Gregory Martini, the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of Ironwood Pharmaceuticals. So he's the one vouching for the accuracy of what's in here. Let's take a look. Alright, so without diving into some of the more mundane aspects of the report, like contact info or legal disclaimers, let's try to get to the interesting parts. Since this is not a quarterly or annual report, we won't find pages of financial tables, but it's still worth understanding the context around this announcement. Since we don't have financials, let's change gears. Companies like Ironwood often face a lot of hurdles when it comes to drug development. Clinical trials can fail, regulatory approvals can be delayed, and competitors can always come up with something better. And since Ironwood focuses on specific areas, any setback in those areas could really hurt their overall business. So it's important to see where they are at. Without the specifics of the press release and the filing itself, it's tough to do a deep dive, but we can still think about what kinds of updates might be important for a company like Ironwood. New partnerships, progress in drug trials, or changes in their market strategy would all be things to keep an eye on. This current report is more of a notification that an announcement has been made. Okay, so what does all this mean? In a nutshell, Ironwood Pharmaceutical has shared some news with the world, but without seeing the actual news release, we are unfortunately somewhat in the dark. We know who made the announcement and we know it's considered important, but the real value comes from digging into the details of that press release itself. Companies in the pharmaceutical industry can be really risky, but also really rewarding. The success of a single drug can make or break a company, so investors need to be ready for a bumpy ride and to do their homework carefully. Ultimately, the key takeaway here is to always look beyond the surface. A simple announcement can hide a lot of complexity, and it's up to us to try to figure out what's really going on. Now let's zoom out and think about Ironwood's overall direction. The pharmaceutical industry is a tough place with a lot of competition and a lot of risks. Ironwood needs to be smart about where they focus their efforts and how they manage their money. One of their strengths is probably their focus on specific areas, but that also means they're more vulnerable if something goes wrong in those areas. One weakness is the uncertainty that comes with drug development. Looking ahead, there are both risks and opportunities for Ironwood. If they can get new drugs approved and successfully sell them, they could see big rewards. But they also need to watch out for regulatory changes, competition, and the possibility of clinical trial failures. In conclusion, Ironwood Pharmaceuticals is navigating a complex and challenging industry. Their future depends on their ability to innovate, manage risk, and execute their strategy effectively. While this report is not helpful without the actual press release, filings like this can tell a story, even if it's just a small chapter in a larger book. Thanks for watching Corporate Decoder. If you found this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more insights into the world of corporate filings.